Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Who Asked Me podcast. I am so excited. We have a first time guest. I am such a fan of this person on TikTok. You may know him from doing his amazing, amazing recreations of scenes. It is Oliver Sims the Fourth.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. I'm so happy. And also, this is like our first time really talking
I
to each
know.
other. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
love this.
Yeah, it's usually in like the comments and stuff, but no,
Mhm.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I just love your content
Thank you.
so much. You go when you like go above and beyond and you like walk through the house and anything, I just crack up.
Listen, I try to make them as accurate as I can. Now, I'm not going to go out here and put on like wig and makeup and anything like that. I think
No,
that's doing too much. But I just
no.
try to make them as accurate as I can. And I love acting. And so that's why I do it. And then Real Housewives, it's just really funny. So I'm like, you know what? Why not just do it? I just jumped into it. And I didn't know that it would have taken off like this. Like, I had no idea. And it's just been mind blowing to me. Just all the stuff that's happened to me in the past year of
Yeah.
doing. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm so happy for you. I tell you all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for you. And it's so comforting as well. And then you're doing recaps now too,
Yeah.
on your YouTube and a little bit on TikTok, yeah?
Yeah. So I do some on, or initially I started doing them on TikTok, but then with the ban,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, maybe I should just go ahead and move them over to YouTube. And honestly, I like filming them on YouTube a lot more because I can
Mhm.
just say it like a lot quicker. I don't have to like
Yep.
do all these like edits and stuff. So yes, I'm doing my episode recaps on YouTube. And then I'll post like some clips or maybe even the full thing onto my TikTok so I can try and get people to move over to YouTube for
Yeah.
that. So, mhm.
100%. Yeah. The band, the band.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
I feel like now I'm just like, you know what it is, what it is. I already had a YouTube channel. I
Yeah.
was wanting to get it up and running anyways. Like I have this
Mhm.
podcast and we're just gonna
Yeah.
let it be that. I'm gonna enjoy the app while it's here. And then once she goes
Mhm.
away, girl, bye. But
Exactly.
we have a very Bravo heavy episode today. Anybody who listens to the podcast knows we like to mix it up. Of course, we always make time to talk about Bravo. However, I don't like, I feel like for me personally, this week was a lot. Like, I
It
felt like
was.
this was a crash out week for me. I felt I was on the verge of crashing out
Yes.
multiple times.
Yes.
Dragged me this week. I was like, oh, what is going on? Because I was on top of everything until I wasn't.
Work has just been crazy. And then like all this on top of it with Bravo, I'm like, wait, I just need to, I feel like I just need to decompress.
Yes.
Like everything
I
that's been going on.
I feel fatigued. And then I
Mhm.
started Friday night. I was just like laying down. I was like, I need to relax. I need to unwind. And everybody was like, you need to watch Wags to Riches on Netflix. Now, I had tried to watch it. However, my mistake. I started watching it when I was sleepy and I was like in bed. I never start shows in bed.
Mhm.
And I fell asleep on it. So in my mind, I was like, oh, it's boring. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Friday came around, and next thing I knew, I was like 5 episodes deep, and I was like, okay. The show is about nothing. We're not really sure what the show is about, but these women are a mess.
Really?
You got Bodak, but what not Bodak Yellow, Kodak Black's
Oh my
baby
gosh.
mama beating
Isn't it?
somebody up the first episode. We get a mugshot, yes. You get
Okay.
Chad Ochocinco's now ex-wife who looks like Evelyn Lozada, and
Wait,
her name is Sherelle Rosada. Oh my God, it's a mess.
she was on Selling Tampa.
Yeah, so I didn't watch
Okay.
Selling Tampa for real. I
Mhm.
just followed I liked what's her name? Starts with a T, I think. What's her
Oh,
name?
I know who you're talking about.
She also went on the Are You the One, the dating show that Netflix has. She also went on season 2 of that.
Oh, there's it's Colony and then and Sophie. Yeah.
Colony. I don't
Yeah.
know why I said T. I don't know why I said T.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, and then
yeah.
Sophie, yeah, I saw
Mhm.
that I would see their TikToks and stuff, so I followed them from that
Yeah.
show, but I did not watch that show because I heard that they didn't sell Not Nan Nary House.
I don't think they did. I really don't. No, they didn't. I don't think they sold a house. Yeah.
Real estate shows are tricky for me because I started watching Selling NYC. And
Oh yeah.
when we start getting too much into like there's backstory there and the girlies start acting like they are
Hmm.
selling these homes and I know they're not. On Selling NYC, I literally saw them show the same like complex
Hmm.
building multiple times because I was like, wait a minute, that view, that's the view that she just showed this other person. And I was like, are y'all only allowed to show apartments in this building? Like, what's going on here?
Probably. You know, they also have a Selling the Hamptons. And the thing is, I only saw that one. Yeah, I only saw that one whenever I was on a flight. I think it was a long flight because I was on American,
Mhm.
and I just saw Selling the Hamptons. I think it's on like Discovery, but it's literally the same
Oh,
type of franchise. But I'm like, why isn't it on Netflix or anything? But that one was actually kind of good. I only saw like 4 or 5 episodes, but that was pretty good. But I haven't seen any like other versions of it. But yeah, I don't know. Like there
yeah.
are so many different shows. Like,
Yeah. Selling OC, I could not get into just for the
mhm.
fact that I want to cuss that Alex girl
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like it's a wrap. And then Selling Sunset, I love Chriselle. I love
Hmm.
Selling Sunset. But when they brought Mary really pissed me off last season. And then what's
Yeah,
that? Nicole,
Nicole.
who
Yeah.
apparently just got suspended. She's suspended. They're filming. She got suspended for getting an altercation with Nicole. Yeah, I saw or an altercation with Chriselle. I saw an article.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not, and Brie too. I'm not a big Brie girl
Yeah,
just because I don't like what she's trying to sell us when it comes to the Nick Cannon stuff.
I
And
agree. Like that's a lot of it's a lot when it comes to that specifically. And
hmm
so for her, I don't know. There's just a lot there. And then also like her drama with what's her name? Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, it's icky, right? I totally
Yeah.
understand that Chelsea was talking a lot of shit about Brie's
Yeah, she
business
would.
that first
Mhm.
season, but I'm just gonna say it, I feel like Brie I can feel the anti-blackness like radiating off her skin, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, but it's hard to say because she's like, oh, I'm friends with Sweetie, and I'm
Hmm.
my baby daddy is black. She's one of those. So, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
It's
I'm,
like okay.
I'm like, okay, yeah,
Hmm.
already. But let's go ahead and get into this Bravo mess. I just want to start with the Real Housewives of New York. Yes, deep breaths. Deep breaths before we go here. Before we get into it, I had not been watching, I hadn't watched since the prank, and I was not planning on watching the season finale. As far as
Yeah.
I was concerned, Roni was over. Okay. And then when I saw the eruption, I actually like ended up having to work late on Tuesday.
Yeah.
When I saw the eruption on social media, I was like, at first when I was like, okay, like whatever, whatever.
Hmm.
And then my fellow like podcast friends and like other Bravo influencers and stuff were like, no, this is insane. Like you need to watch. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I I had no words.
So so the thing is, I've been watching the whole season. I
Hmm
will say after the prank, it felt like homework because I
Yeah.
was just trying to do like if you notice, I stopped doing my recaps of
Yeah.
Romy because
Yeah.
I was like I can't do it. But
100%.
yeah, but it's like after the prank, I was just like it felt like homework, and I just like I kept watching because whenever Jessel was at High U Fan Fest, she said that they had to send one of the cast members home or to a hotel and the other one on a plane, and they had to stop filming early.
hmm
And I was like, well, that's interesting. Now, them stopping like filming early makes so much sense as to why
Yeah.
like the season was lackluster because they had to take all the footage that they had and just try to make lemonade out of lemons. But it was
Yeah.
just like there was no other drama like that. Their only trip was to Puerto Rico. No, like yeah, they went
hmm
to the Hamptons for a weekend, but like they didn't have like an international trip. So
No, and they always go, if you've watched New York, like old and
yeah,
new, they always go to the Hamptons. They always go to the
yeah,
Hamptons. It's
exactly.
not a trip.
Exactly. Like that was their domestic trip. So I'm like, dang, they really filmed then wrapped this up early. So like
hmm
I had been seeing a bunch of tweets about it saying like, oh no, the finale is gonna be really good. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. So then I watched it and while I'm watching, I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? Because they kept talking about the finale and whatnot. It just kept getting
worse.
worse. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the situation just kept getting so much worse, and I was like, oh my gosh. And at the very end, wait, how do we want to go about this? Do we want to just like talk about the whole situation through,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So like from my perspective, I'm watching, I'm seeing like my emotions are like going all over the place
Hmm.
watching it because it's like you have Bryn over here who is crashing out about the fact that like she was unfortunately
Hmm.
SA,
Yeah.
which I will never ever doubt
Right,
someone
right, right.
short
But
of that.
everybody, I
Mhm.
feel like everybody's on the
Yeah.
same page that we all
Oh
believe
yeah.
that that happened to her,
Oh yeah.
right? And even when
Mhm.
I will say this, even when like the situation was explained, and I know
Mhm.
maybe because I am very, very, very disgusted with Bryn's behavior. I don't like Bryn,
Yeah.
but even when she explained, she was like, I have all this stuff going on. Like how she said it to, but was I have all this stuff going on. There was,
Mhm.
a life attempt on a close family member, and
Mhm.
this and this and this, and then this happened to me. So I can see that how like explaining stuff like that because I have done things like that when I'm like about to crash out, not about being essay, but like just throwing something in there, you know what I mean, when I'm
Mhm.
overwhelmed. So I was like, I mean, yeah, everybody gets like that. It's just the
Mhm.
Bryn's behavior the rest of the season
Yes.
has been it's been tough to watch. And I will say for myself, when I never really was like a huge Bryn fan. I didn't really
Mhm.
get the hype. She was okay,
Yeah.
but I was like, she's not anything to write home about, honestly. Like I can always see her self-producing, right?
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
me, when they were in the Hamptons earlier in the season, and it was her versus Psy. And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like, first of all, I'm just going to say this. Like, I don't know if Britain's drinking more this season or like what, but it's been her behavior of just is just very erratic.
Yeah.
But when they were in the Hamptons, and I think Bryn went up to Uba, and almost immediately, Uba didn't even have her belongings down in the
Mhm.
house at
Yeah.
first. And she goes, oh my God, I need you to help me with Sai. I need you to, babe, I need you to help me with Sai. Like, you gotta make it, you gotta help me make it right. And Uba's like,
Yeah, exactly.
can I get like a cracker? Can I
Right.
get some of the charcuterie board first before you start helping me? And then when Uba's like, yeah, okay, I'll help you, blah, blah, blah. And she tries to introduce like the conversation. She's very much, Uba, she's like, you just need to talk to her, pull her to the
Mhm.
side, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
She like kind of turns on Uba in that moment. Uba's like, you asked me to help you, and I am trying to help. And then you're trying to come at me. I'm not in it anymore.
It just her behaviors was so weird. Like you said it correctly, like it's erratic and it makes no sense to me as to why this is all happening, except for like finding out that one of the producers is that same
Eric.
guy that was on. Yeah, Eric.
Eric,
Eric.
where's Eric?
Where's
I
Eric?
need Eric. I cannot. Whenever I see him, it's not. Oh, there's Eric. I'm like Eric. There's
Yeah.
Eric.
I even typed the name out to like ERI capital C, like Eric.
Yes, Eric. Oh, when I saw him, I was like, you are an
Mm-hmm.
issue. I don't
Just
bad thing. I don't know if you are the issue, but bad things follow you.
yeah,
Shit gets dark when you are around, sir.
yeah. Oh
Please,
yeah.
please.
I was like, oh no. I was like, I know that's not who I think it is. I know it's not. But yeah. So I think that makes sense. And like her
Yeah.
hugging him too. Oh
Yeah, oh
yeah.
my God, when I saw that, I was like, and I always think, as much as I love Bravo, I always think back to Vanderpump Rules
Yeah.
when the women, almost all of the women on the show have said like they used to beg production not to like air certain stuff or not do so or like beg them and say like this is what this guy is doing, da da da.
Mhm.
And they would always it was like one big boys club and they were always for the boys, the boys, the boys. And that's kind of obviously there's no men on Real Housewives of New York, but
Mhm.
I'm like it's clear that they play favorites. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The due diligence, like it was so many people failed Uba. And I
Yes.
feel like, and I said this on somebody's TikTok video, Uba is not a good housewife. She's
Yeah. Oh, I saw that
not a
comment.
good
Yeah.
she's not a good housewife. Okay.
Yeah.
And if she does not come back for next season, I would hope that it's not because of this situation and the
Yeah.
fact that you're just not sharing your life. Uba gives friend of energy. Like she gives
Yeah.
like heavy friend of energy. And
Yeah.
last season, I thought she was a friend of. I said, this
Mhm.
is really until my friend Pet Shop Boy B was like, no,
Mhm.
baby, she's full time. I said,
You're like, really?
That's not, that doesn't make sense to me. And she doesn't want to share the boyfriend. She wants to, wants to be secretive, things like that. She's just not a good housewife. Resolution is not the easiest with
Yeah.
Uba. However, when people talk about like how erratic she gets, erratic and like
Mhm.
pops off and stuff like that, I'm like, well, you didn't have a problem when Dorinda did it. She
Yeah.
just doesn't have an accent. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Dorinda just doesn't have an
Exactly.
accent. But my heart broke for Uba for multiple
Mhm.
reasons. She really did try to, like, people were like, just apologize. I personally do not think it's that big of a deal when Bryn kept picking with her and she's like, why are you here? Why are you here? She's like, I'm here because I was casted because of who I am. I am here.
Mhm.
If you, maybe you had to suck a dick to get here, whatever.
Yeah.
I am a person that suck a fucking dick is one of my go-to. Like when somebody's pissing me off,
Yeah.
I will be like, suck a fucking dick, like get the fuck
Yeah.
away from me.
Exactly.
It could trigger some people. No one's told me that before. Usually I just get another comeback and then we're
Mhm.
arguing. But um she takes it and she's like, you need to apologize for saying I suck dick for work. And it was like, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was so fucking frustrated
Yeah.
because I'm not apologizing for that. I am
Mhm.
apologizing for the implication. I am apologizing for
Yeah.
saying that. I could have said anything else, but I
Mhm.
was pissed at you. So I am apologizing for saying I don't know if you did that to get here. But I did
Mhm.
not say you sucked dick for work. I didn't say that.
Exactly. Like it was definitely taken. It's like she took the suck a dick for work part and ran with it like
Yeah.
to the hip. So
Yeah.
100% I agree.
Well, even the in the Jeff in the like I knew at the beginning of the season and I knew when I don't know if anybody remembers this, if anybody's listening. Last season, Bryn went off on
Mhm.
a Bravo content creator on Instagram, Bravo and Botox. If you know, Bravo and Botox just post the tweets, the funniest
Yeah.
tweets from the week. They're really not, they're generally not one-sided. You know what I mean? Even this week with
Yeah.
like Bronwyn versus Lisa, she posted a mix, like that were pro Lisa, some that were pro Bronwyn, blah, blah, blah. So she posted a joke about Bryn being on whatever sugarbaby.com or whatever. It was a
Yeah.
tweet that somebody wrote. She posted it. It was in the roundup. Bryn went off in that content creator's DMs during the day, and that content creator was at work. Yes, I know Bravo and Botox. Like she was at work. Everything happened. Bryn was like arguing with her, pretty much arguing with herself in
Mhm.
Bravo and Botox DMs, posted to her followers, like, oh, this person's disgusting, blah, blah. She said everything she had to say, and then she ends with, and now you're blocked. As if Bravo and Botox was responding this whole time. So this all took place online while Bravo and Botox was at work. And then by the time she gets online that day, she's like, what the fuck? And that has always stuck with me because I was like, first of all, Bryn posted this, blasted it everywhere to make herself look like the victim. Like they
Mhm.
were saying, like Bravo and Botox was saying that spreading that she was a sugar baby, right?
Mhm.
And she never gave her, there was no conversation, there was no nothing. She mentioned the LinkedIn in those messages and all of that stuff. And Bravo and Botox, of course, was just like, look, I share the tweets, the funny ones,
Yeah.
and I try to keep it lighthearted. I'm not, saying that Bryn is a sex worker or anything like that. But I find it funny because again, is sex work work or are we shaming sex work? You know what
Like,
I
yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
it's one of those things where I'm like, we are perpetuating like the very thing we try and say, like, no, it's work, don't shame it.
Mhm.
Right.
But yeah.
So then when the Jeff Lewis thing happened, I was like, oh my God. I was like, we're really gonna spend so much time on this Jeff Lewis bit. Jeff never said
He never
Jeff
did.
Jeff never said that she had sex for money.
Yeah.
He said, ask Aaron, do you think someone is helping her?
Like
Do you,
I
That's what
just
he said. He said it
yeah.
in a salacious way, 100%. And
Mhm.
even when she was mad at Aaron, Lord knows I don't like taking Aaron's side. But
Mhm.
Aaron said immediately, she said, no, I don't think that.
Yeah, exactly. So like why are you getting mad at it?
Jeff Lewis is a fucking troll too. Like
Exactly.
he pisses Andy off every time he's on Watch What Happens Live.
I feel like Andy's just gonna lunge at him sometimes
Yes.
whenever he's on Watch Up and it's like, oh my gosh. So
Jeff Lewis is also an easy button because I remember when it was Bethany, Jeff, and Andy on a Watch What Happens Live, and this is kind of like
Mm,
the final straw for Bethany and Andy's relationship.
yeah.
When they were all joking, honestly, I thought it was a really good episode, and I don't enjoy Bethany.
Mhm.
And then Bethany came back and was like, "My daughter was backstage and she didn't appreciate what Jeff said." And I was like, "Oh my God, here we go." You know what I mean? But I knew we were going to drag this out, the Jeff Lewis of it all. And that was
Mhm.
going to be her main, kind of like, oh, poor me, because these people think that I am a sugar baby or a sex worker or anything like that. And it's like, no, Bryn, like you literally make all these jokes about these billionaires that you have, that want to date you and being engaged 5 million times and all of this stuff. Like, everybody is making the
Mhm.
sexual jokes with you until you're like, no, don't do that. And it's like, okay, you draw a boundary, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. If you don't think a joke's funny and it's about you, cool. But this felt like she took, well, I mean, doesn't feel like she did take it too far.
She did. Yeah. Mhm.
It's I just, when she wouldn't let the sucking dick thing go, I was like, okay, what is coming? I was like, what are we doing?
Mhm.
What are we doing? And I had said before the episode, I said, if they go to blows at this point, whatever.
Right.
And now that I see it, I actually think I might have preferred them go to blows than this shit. I would have preferred them go to blows over this shit because I think Uba showed her ass in Puerto Rico when it came to Raquel and the comments she
Yes.
made. I didn't like
Yeah.
that. It was
At
very
all.
rude. She was
Mhm.
doing way too much. But
Yeah.
those two incidents, what happened with Uba and Raquel and what happened with Uba and Bryn are two separate incidences, and
Completely
they do
different.
not have anything to do with one another.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Like, yeah,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, babe.
I was just gonna say, like you are 100% correct. The situation with Uba and Raquel, that was Uba was being completely out of line,
Yeah.
entirely insensitive.
Hmm.
And if you're gonna go someplace where it's like someone's childhood, memory,
Hmm.
like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be like, oh wait, this is so cool. Like, yeah, if it's not like this 100% luxurious white sand beach with like all the services you can get drinks,
Right.
you can do this, that, whatever. Who cares? Like someone's
Right.
telling you this is like something that means so much to them. Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't care about that.
Yeah.
But it's like with Uba and Bryn, that's a whole different level
Yes.
of, and it's just like it's layered
It
too.
is it's
Hmm.
so layered.
Hmm.
And Uba had the reaction that she had when Jessel, the MVP that she is,
I know that's
the
right.
MVP that she is, went and told her, yes, she had a big reaction. And I
Hmm.
saw somebody say, like, well, why did Uba have to run and yell and scream to Bryn? Why didn't she just walk up to her calmly?
Are we are we watching the same show?
I I said, I can't tell you whether I would have ran up to, walked and screamed, but I can 100% tell you that I would have fucking lost it.
Hmm.
Because I have been in situations and disagreements before with white women that
Hmm.
don't have anything to do with assault. And
Hmm.
but have something to do with like stronger issues. And then
Yeah.
they throw that in there like, well, I'm a sexual assault survivor. And I'm like,
Like,
what do I
whoa.
know? What do I know? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Back up. Like,
How did we get here? How did
hmm.
we get here?
Hmm.
And I don't like I don't like when, that is thrown around for
Yeah.
multiple reasons. One of them being, I feel like it forces other people to then say,
Hmm.
okay, I was too. This is what I dealt with. And that's
Hmm.
not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You know what I
Of course.
mean? Uba has also been through and talked about publicly um the mutilation that she
Yeah.
went through at a young age. It's very traumatic. It's all very, very sad, no matter whether it's Uba's story or Bryn's story. But Uba
Hmm.
did not use that to play her hand in an argument with Bryn,
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
I think one thing that's really bothering me
Hmm.
is Bryn saying, now that I think about it, maybe she didn't clock it. I'm sorry. When I think clock it, oh, you didn't clock it. Oh, I clocked that girl. Clock it
Hmm.
is such a light statement. Please don't say, "Oh, she didn't clock it when I said I was assaulted." No, no, please don't say clock. I was like, clock it, clock it. I know that it's such a small thing to like focus on, but I was like, clocked, clock it, clocked.
What are we talking about?
I said, you said she just didn't clock your T when it came to this. Uh,
It's just it's so crazy. The way like she went around telling everybody that would listen, except for Uba, that Uba definitely 100% undeniably knew
new.
about her assault and was then going and saying, you know, oh, she sucked dick to get onto the show. And then if Jessel didn't go back to
Mm-hmm.
tell Uba that information, like who knows what would have happened, but it's like you're going around and telling everybody this except for the
The
person you're
person.
talking about.
Uba took her outside, took her to
Mm-hmm.
the side. And
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, she didn't say, Uba,
Mm-hmm.
remember when I told you what happened to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's a good
even
point.
if she didn't, I literally, when I saw them two talking, I was like, that is a flashback in my mind. I said, well, if for me, everybody handles things differently. But if I told somebody about that and then I was like, oh wow, I can't believe they said that to me because they know for a fact,
Mm-hmm.
to their face, I would be like, I find it really fucked up that
Yeah.
I told you what happened to me and you're still making jokes or saying insinuations around that stuff
Mm-hmm.
to their face. It's and everybody trying to insinuate, well, Bryn is scared of Uba. Bryn is scared of Uba is scared of Bryn. I'm scared of
Yeah.
Bryn. I'm scared
Mm-hmm.
of Bryn, to
That's
be honest with
dangerous.
you.
Yeah.
I'm scared of her. It's very, very, very disturbing, you know.
Yeah.
And
Like,
and somebody had pointed out, I really didn't even notice either. Like when Uba was, I guess Raquel was like, let's just go to sleep. And Uba was like, you were going to go to sleep on this information, thinking to going to sleep knowing this, and you weren't going to say anything to me,
yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
how Bryn, like all of the ladies were like, Bryn, all of the ladies were like, Bryn, she didn't say you sucked dick.
Yeah.
She didn't say you sucked dick.
Yeah.
I think that's really what Bryn was like, okay, they're not siding with me. And
So
the
she thinks
ladies
she's
were saying,
great.
they're saying she shouldn't have said what she said, but she didn't say that you sucked it. That's what
Mm-hmm.
all of them were like, Bryn, we get it. We got you. She shouldn't have said that, but she
Mm-hmm.
didn't say you sucked dick.
Yeah.
They weren't jumping on to that fabrication, to that embellishment, because I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
call it an embellishment there. So then she took it to the next level. And
Yeah.
I was even the way then she left the room and they were all like, what the fuck? When she came back and was like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, this is so dark.
Yeah.
This is this is one of the darkest things I've ever seen on one of these shows ever.
It did remind me of Candy and Phaedra, like that
Yeah.
situation. Obviously, it's definitely not the same, but
Hmm.
like it just reminded me of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like why would you lie and say that? Like why
Hmm.
would you that's just weird. That that also just shows how like dangerous of a human being she is for
Hmm.
you to go in and lie on someone that you supposedly love. And this could be coming out of like pure jealousy because Uba's man is worth $8 billion with a B. So it's like
Yeah. Oh, but just get off the show and just go be with him. Go lay
just
up under
yeah.
that man in Connecticut, please. And oh,
Mhm.
to be fair, Uber's concerns were completely fair from the public
Yeah.
perception. That's what I would too. I would be like,
Yeah.
I don't know how people are going to react to this because I've been in this whole season with these women who have seemingly taken Bryn's side
Yeah.
and have, you never know how the public is going to react.
Hmm.
So I understand her being nervous. I understand her being like, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. This is like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Like, and I understand her. People were like, why is she yelling in Raquel's face? When I tell you, I would never speak to Raquel again. While I think Uba was wrong about that, like how she went about the Puerto Rico
Mhm.
thing, you were going to go to sleep on
Without,
this
yeah.
information, not telling me, thinking this of me. I will never speak to you again. Jenna Lyons, same thing. I don't like Jenna Lyons.
Mhm.
I'm just to be honest. I don't care for her. I don't care for her. I don't think she's a good housewife.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think she fails to see She fails to see where Bryn is in the wrong.
Yeah,
Like she does, but she doesn't. She doesn't want to say it. She infantilizes her over and over and over again. And I don't know what her thing is with Uba. Maybe she just don't like the lady. I don't care. But it
yeah,
is, I think Jenna is not used to people yelling, or not used to loud people, because I remember she said
yeah,
her mom was very, like, how she grew up was very quiet. Her mom was very reserved and all of
yeah.
those things. I think Uba is just different than what she's used to, and she can't
Hmm.
rectify with somebody being loud. Like, but like, girl, people are different. You know what I mean? People be different. No, I don't tell you. But it just, from beginning to end, sending Uba to the hotel, because they didn't send Uba and Jessel. Jessel went with Uba. They sent Uba to
Yeah,
the hotel, and Jessel said, I'll go. I didn't
yeah,
like that separation.
yeah,
There was a lack of care for Uba
yeah.
and a ton of care for Bryn.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until you just said that yeah, they didn't send Jessel. Like Jessel just went with her.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah, the lack of because all the producers were just kikiing with Bryn the next morning. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
as if nothing happened, that's a huge that's insane. So that just really rubs me the wrong way. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, what's happening here?
I was like, how deep does she have, y'all? Like, and even the way she was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And then was like, okay, we're gonna do the ATVs. We're gonna, like, Sai was like, hey, girl, like, what's up?
Oh my
She
gosh.
literally was like, I'm trying to check the temperature, but not too much because I don't want to say nothing around her. Like,
Mhm.
it's been insane to me to see how Bryn has tried to twist this story as well, because we, of course, like, Bryn, a lot of women can relate to being assaulted,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yes,
Her
unfortunately.
posting, these things like teach your daughters to this, teach your daughters to this. Yes, Brim, baby. But at the same time, do we see how this is you manipulating the situation? Because we also need to teach our daughters not to lie
Yeah,
on their friends or on anybody. We need to teach our
exactly.
daughters to take accountability for their actions, which she has afterwards has taken none.
Hmm.
When they showed up for main credits and was like, I'm dying inside, and they're just all like laughing. And somebody pointed out on Thread, somebody was like, no, baby, they're all being professional.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
they're all just being professional. They have to film these main titles. They
Hmm.
just want to get through it and get it over with. I said, oh, good point.
Right. It looks like at the reunion they are gonna be going like not after her, but they're all just gonna be like, Brennan, what were you on? That's what it seemed like to me from the
Yeah,
trailer. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it does seem like that.
mhm.
And then for her, even the Rolling Stone article. Now, y'all know how I feel about paragraphs of bullshit. So, did I read the entire article? No, I skimmed it. Right.
Mhm.
I saw the parts that I needed to see, where she like goes through how her relationship is with everybody. And
Mhm.
the receipts are there. She tells her brother on camera, "You're the only person that I told." And then in the Rolling Stone article, she goes, I talked to my brother and I said, oh my God, I just told Uba. And he said, that's good. You can trust her. So, like, I'm not saying that those things didn't happen,
Yeah.
but what we have a footage of you saying, you're the only person I've ever told. I just need a
Mhm.
timeline of events. However, at this time,
Yeah.
I'm really like not likely to believe your timeline of events because I need hard proof from her of these tellings.
Yeah, because they she said did she say that she told Uber that before BravoCon?
Yes.
So then
That's
that's
from
what
what
yeah.
I understood. That's what I thought she said
So then
before
yeah,
BravoCon. Yeah.
so then yeah, I need a timeline of events too, because BravoCon that was November 2023.
Hmm.
But like when did they film?
Yeah.
That had to have been this. No, no. If it wait, yeah, I need a timeline because if
Yeah.
they started filming this like in early 2024, or like around like April or whatever, I don't. That doesn't make.
And she's telling her brother,
Yeah,
you're
on
the only
camera.
person I've told. I I'm confused,
Yeah,
right?
I'm very confused.
And this is what she's saying in the article. And when it comes to like, they're like, where's your relationship with Uba? Bryn does have some PR training, but it's not great because she's like, with Uba, I have a lot of love with her, but what's done is done. You're correct. What's done is done, but to you, what's done? What do you think's done? Because I want to know what you think is done because I don't think it's what she thinks is done.
Hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
Like you're saying it's manipulative in a way. Like I have a lot of love with her and I know, but the relationship, what's done is done and what's said has been said. Okay, what's been said? Because we know what's
Exactly.
going and but in your mind, what's been said, because I don't think your mind is processing the same as other people's minds.
Yeah, no, it's not. Definitely not.
It's very, very, very scary.
Yeah.
She she needs, it's very sad. Bryn's upbringing was sad. Upa's upbringing was
Mhm,
sad. Like you
mhm.
can't at this point. I I don't know where they go from here. If the show is scrapped, the show is scrapped. You know what I mean? And then Erin is still kind of, if you ask me, still kind of playing both sides because Erin did a Q&A on her Instagram. Of course, she came out and was like, I guess she was like, Erin's like a sister to me. We talk all the time, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, baby, we have not talked.
Yep.
You
I
you
saw
was
that. I was
on
like, oh.
you had a conversation with Abe explaining something and that's it. I'm not getting behind this. Can't do it. And then the Q&A, somebody was like, are you mad at Bryn? And she was like, I'm not carrying any hate in my heart. I can only speak for myself. She's apologized to me and I definitely need to put up boundaries with her. And I was like, girl, you just said a whole bunch of nothing. Well, yes. Yes.
A lot of this can be so frustrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just just wrap it up?
Yeah, yeah,
Just, just wrap it up. Oh my gosh.
yeah. And the last thing I have to talk about New York, and I feel pretty strongly about this. Obviously, it's not a big of a deal as everything that we just talked about, but it's Jenna Lyons in this bathrobe and hair towel. It's not iconic at the reunion. It's not iconic.
The way Andy was talking about it on his podcast was so funny to me. He was just like, I've never seen anything like it before. Just it just changed. It's just so revolutionary. I'm like, okay, all
You know
right.
what? Because she's kind of doing the same thing Kyle does, but Kyle doesn't do it through fashion, which is like making fun of and kind of like
Hmm.
downplaying the very show that you're getting your money from right now.
That's exactly what Jenna Lyons, yeah, is doing. Yeah, 100%.
And Jenna does not need Roni. She does not need Roni
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. But what you're here collecting a check, so like let's be professional.
Right.
You don't
Like,
have to the jeans, whatever. I was not enraged by the jeans.
hmm.
I'm gonna let her have it. I don't care. This bathrobe and the towel on your head, don't start. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. In the words of my good sis Raven from Bitches Better, don't fucking piss me off. Please. Cause you are. You are.
Oh, I'm dead.
I hate it. Oh God. But on that note, let's go over to Beverly Hills. Very much lighter, very much so funny to me
Yes.
because Kyle is having a hard time. And
This is so
I love
funny.
it. I love it and I hate it, but it's just Kyle is a queen of doubling and tripling down.
Hmm.
So she is about to be insufferable at this reunion. She is going to be insufferable.
It really it said a lot whenever, like right after she stormed out, she and Dorit were talking.
Mhm.
And she like Dorit talked about how PK would be like verbally abusive and whatnot.
Mhm.
And she just like wasn't taking it. She wasn't hearing it. And she just
Nope.
was like, yeah, but PK girl, okay.
I said, shit, I've never seen that side of PK. I said, I know you don't think you closer to him than his wife. His wife. I said, now, Kyle, what if somebody insinuated that they had such a close relationship with Mauricio and that you
Mhm.
said something about him and they could never imagine Mauricio betraying Kyle's trust because that's the only thing Kyle has told us about her relationship with Mauricio.
Mhm.
We still, and I can't stand that, we still technically do not know
Mhm.
why Kyle and Mauricio are getting divorced.
Like even the way Sutton was it this episode of no, I think that was last week's episode or the week prior. I don't know, but whenever they were at, it was Kyle and Garcelle at Sutton's house,
Hmm.
and they were all eating, and Sutton said, "Well, yeah, but you had infidelity in your marriage."
I listen, Sutton. I'm very middle ground on Sutton. That was one of the funniest exchanges to me. I actually laughed out loud. He said, "But yeah, you dealt with the infidelity." Kyle said, "What are you talking about?"
Who?
Kyle said, or Sutton said, "You dealt with infidelity." No, I didn't. Yes, you did. I said, "This is a white woman standoff if I have ever seen one in my life."
Oh,
Shit. No, I didn't.
that
Yes,
was
you did.
that was so
Talking about
crazy.
Instagram? You talking about Instagram? Hey, Garcelle. I said, "You know what, son? You got her there. You got her there." Okay, but it doesn't matter because Kyle's just gonna say, "I never said Mauricio cheated on me. I would never do that. We have four daughters. And because it always, and I get it. It always goes back to the daughters. Think about my daughters. Think about my daughters. Everybody else has kids too.
Yes,
Everybody else has kids too. That
exactly.
you have not. Denise Richards has kids.
Yeah, and you didn't care.
Did
You
not care.
didn't.
She does this revisionist history shit. There was like an interview she did a while ago where she was like, "Oh, I thought that Lucy apple juice thing was so stupid. I never took part in." I said, I said, "What? What?" I, I
Like, you do realize that like there are like four cameras on you at all times. Like when we can see what's happening.
we literally have goodbye, Kyle, because that is the same season. And that all stemmed from the Lucy apple juice story of who the dog getting sent back to wherever and
Hmm.
the story getting planted in the media.
Hmm. Like,
I was like, "You're lying. Stop doing
yeah.
that. Stop
Yeah.
doing that. Stop saying that." Because they never bust the receipts out on her ass either. And I'm just like, please, someone show this lady
Exactly.
what she said, what we saw her say, what we heard her say. And I honestly was with, when it comes to Kyle and Mauricio, I'm actually not with everybody where they're like, I hate when people are like, she embarrassed Mauricio running around with Morgan and da 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 da. No, 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 baby. Mauricio been doing his thing, been doing dirt for a long time. Like Garcelle said, that is one of the most open secrets, unspoken about
Literally.
things
Like
in Beverly Hills.
anytime now, allegedly, anytime he's been here in Dallas, he's always down in Nobu with somebody else. Allegedly. Did I say allegedly?
Allegedly.
Just
Allegedly. And you know what? Like that, and that's my thing. I do you remember when what was that, season one or season two, when they had that white party and that lady was all up on Mauricio
Mhm.
and Kyle was like, "Get him in." I said,
Hmm. It's like that's not the first time you did that, huh?
"Oh my God." And Mauricio was just sitting there like, I said,
You don't care. The way this whole season, like the scene whenever they were just both sitting in the house and he was just
mm-hmm.
laughing. He doesn't care.
He
He
does
does
not
not
give
care.
a fuck. This man's it's nothing about his life has really changed. Okay. It
Yeah.
really hasn't. And I said, "Kyle, you literally sat there and told us that he replaced your photo, you, his wife of 20 plus years, photo on his desk with a picture of his Dancing with the Stars partner, who we saw. There were photographs of him kissing. You don't have to be dragging him in the press. You don't have to like be doing that. But this like whole act of like my marriage is not like yours. The
Like,
downfall of my marriage. I'm sorry, Garcelle, that it wasn't like yours. You dealt with cheating.
like
Okay. Yeah, girl, they are all better than me. They're all better than me because I would be like, go get that bitch. Go get that. Since you don't talk to me crazy, but yeah, I don't think that, I don't think that Morgan is the reason that they're breaking up, anything like that. I think now I do, as a bisexual woman who has been listen, being with women, like we all know the stereotypes when it comes to lesbians, okay? Like we know the U-Haul jokes, we know that this
Mhm.
when you have the first woman that you like have a crush on and realizing it's very, very, very like all
Mhm.
encompassing,
Mhm.
right? A lot of people experience that late, like earlier in life. Kyle is I think experiencing it now because I still don't know. I still don't fucking know. And she wants it
Yeah.
that way. So I definitely think they had a deep friendship. Kyle kind of admitted to like, being interested in women. And she even tells us, I had to have a talk with my daughters. I'm like, what'd you say? What
Mhm.
talk did you have with your
What did
daughters?
you
Okay.
say?
What talk did you have with daughters? Because I'm confused. Don't tell me how to talk with your daughters and then don't tell me what the fuck you talk to them about. Okay. I
Mhm.
don't fucking care. But she's doing this thing like when they were at Chuck E. Cheese and Crystal said, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. That's a joke. Okay. It's a joke. And
Mhm. And
Kyle
you
laughed
laughed.
at it.
Yeah.
And now in the after show, she's like, she's such an asshole for saying that. Everybody, you know what pisses me off is everybody can talk about Big Kathy, and I'm all in on the Big Kathy lore.
Mhm.
Anytime there is any type of like Big
Mhm.
Kathy, Kathy Hilton, like I'm here for it. I have found
Exactly.
myself into holes about that family.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to talk about the effects Big Kathy had, obviously, on Kim and on Little Kathy, but everybody acts like Kyle is exempt
Yeah.
from, and like she's so different from her sisters. That is Big Kathy's child as well. She is
Exactly.
dealing with internalized homophobia
Yeah.
because everybody has said that Big Kathy was extremely homophobic, racist, all of those things,
Mhm.
right? And the Jacksons were fine in her book because they were rich, right?
Mhm.
Kyle's ex-husband, he's not white. I don't remember.
No, he's not.
I don't remember what he is, but he's not white.
Mhm.
That was fine because he was rich. And
Mhm.
she even says like she didn't love Mauricio when they first got together because according to Kyle, they were broke. They didn't
Mhm.
have a lot of money. Right. So like we all know how it is. Like I see everything they say about Big Kath in Kyle often. Even the way
Yeah.
she talks to people. I hate when she's talking about my sister can lose her temper. Girl, I know you're not talking about a temper.
Like, name them.
Yeah, name them.
Mm.
Name them.
Eh.
Okay. Anytime she does not get her point across, even with this freaking storming out of the spa day, I would have had to laugh in her face if I were those ladies. When you would, there is no way you are sitting here crying, telling me we should all be ashamed of ourselves. Shut up.
Like, oh my
Shut
God.
up. I know you fucking lying.
Hmm.
I know you fucking lying.
She just Kyle's so interesting. But the way, like, whenever she was explaining the text and she was reading it, she was like, I love you. I love PK. I love your children. I love you guys so much. This is the text, right?
Dorit, just read it.
She's like, what? Just read
Just
it.
read it. I said Dorit clocked, okay? Because I was like, spit it out. Dorit was like, just read it, honey. She was not going to, because she was trying to play under Dorit's emotion. She was trying to get her to be like,
Yeah.
Kyle, come on, just don't worry about it. Don't read it.
Mm-hmm.
Dorit said, read it.
Mm-hmm.
Read it.
Just read it. The way she added like with production, like in the text.
Yes. And everybody keeps saying, like, you notice that's a screenshot of the text message and not like the actual
Mm-hmm.
text thread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she
Mm-hmm.
pissed me off because she's memes and jokes, memes and jokes, memes and jokes, memes and jokes. And
I
then you
didn't see
send
many
this.
more jokes.
Hello, I don't even think I saw an emoji. Then
Uh-uh.
you sit here talking about, okay, anybody with a brain knows that I've known him for 10 years. It's been more than memes and jokes. Oh, so now I'm stupid.
Like,
I'm dumb. Because you have been so strongly saying it's memes and jokes with conviction. Conviction. And now anybody with a brain knows it's not just memes and jokes.
mm-hmm. Like, you know what? Dorit is a lot better than me. Because if
Mm-hmm.
somebody was saying that, if I was in Dorit's shoes, I would be knocking down Mauricio's door right now.
Okay, you know what? This is what I have. This is what I questioned to read about because I want to be like, baby, we need to go back to this and like walk me through this. She says, I know Kyle has like chatted shit with PK because
Yes.
PK has come home and told me. And I said, Okay, Dorit, I'm with you, girl. I'm rocking with you.
Mhm.
But what do you mean? You know that your best friend and your husband were at their house
Talking about
talking
you.
shit about you, and then PK came home and told you?
I'm like, I'm like, wait, that doesn't. Something's just really off there. I can't put my
First of
finger
all,
on it.
PK, stop talking shit about women, okay? Stop about your wife, about
You
your
need to
wife.
stop being a damn bitch.
You, are you PK or are you Patricia? Okay. Are you PK or are you Patricia? Because
Mhm.
I was like, I had to rewind it. I said, Dorit, did you just tell us that you know that for a fact that Kyle and PK have talked shit about you because PK came home and told you? And then what did you say? You stayed married to him? What did you say?
Like, what? How do you deal with that? How do you?
I said, because he would be up out of my damn house. You want to go kiki with Kyle? Go see if you can stay in one of them motherfucking rooms. Talking shit. I feel very strongly about spouses talking shit about each other in a disrespectful
Yeah,
way. That's not venting CC, Emmy, and Will on Southern Hospitality.
yeah.
But I was just like, I'm confused by this. But and again, Kyle is telling me it's time for Kyle to go because she thinks she's too in on it now, right? She
Hmm.
says before she gets into the car, this worked. Now we're talking about me texting PK instead of Dorit being a bad friend to me. I was like, what? Like she is trying to, every housewife, every franchise, every season, it's like, okay, but why aren't we talking about XYZ that makes people realize, like, okay, it really creates sides.
Hmm.
That's what Kyle's trying to do is create a side. You said that Dorit and you weren't that close. That's what you said on Amazon Live.
Yeah.
That's why we're having and but at the same time, PK is like a brother to you. But it's all of these stories, and now this is something that Dorit a scheme that Dorit came up with to bring to us with the bullshit.
Hmm.
Now it's the scheme that Dorit set up.
Like,
Like
does she not realize that nothing she's saying is making sense?
nothing. And even her conviction of like she can go fuck herself about if she thinks I'm gonna read this text message. Oh, go fuck myself. She can go fuck herself if she thinks I'm gonna read this text message to her. However, I will read it at Chuck E. Cheese with all of these women who have nothing to do with this.
It's weird. It's just like
It's
it's
very weird.
weird behavior. And honestly, I just think she really needs to sit down and have a discussion with herself because she's just alienating herself from like all these people
Oh
and she
yeah.
just makes herself look like a freaking weird bitch. And I'm like, you just need to just chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
She
Like,
does.
because
And
in my opinion, she's doing this for no reason. Like,
she is.
there's no reason for you. There's no reason for you to go and tell Garcelle that you were texting PK.
None.
There's
When
no,
she
yeah.
said that, I was like on the boat, I was like,
Hmm.
because I honestly, you know what I think? I after hearing that PK and Kyle have talked shit about Dorit,
Hmm.
I think that she said that because she actually was trying to set up Dorit and say like even your husband, you are
Yeah.
so off base, you are so fake, you are so this, you are so that. Even your husband still texts me
Mhm.
and tells me these things. I think that's what Kyle was trying to set up.
That makes a lot of sense. I could see that, but she really handled that poorly. That was not good.
No, she did. She 100% did. And
Mhm.
I actually agree with Sutton at the end when she was talking to Garcelle and she was like, because what Sutton is saying is you halted production, you stopped filming, you
Mhm.
stormed off because you didn't want to be held accountable. When it's been the rest of us, we have to stay. We
Yeah.
have to continue to film, we have to
Mhm.
push through it, but you storm off, you break the fourth wall because she
Yeah.
did. She said this is
Mhm.
what I'm talking about. I said I love a fourth wall break, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
over that
Like,
okay. And then she says I was talking about production, I was talking about I'd never share on TV, and that was another thing that kind of made me think like, oh, you were collecting data on Dorit.
yeah. Mhm.
You were planning on being like, Even your husband hates you. And that's what I saw. And like Garcelle said, if it's just memes and jokes, production likes to laugh too.
Mhm.
I said, Garcelle, please, you know they hate when you be making these little jokes like
Right?
this. People get so mad. I'm like, it's very funny.
It's yeah.
It's
Now, I do think that I thought the moment with Garcelle and Dorit, like that was they
oh, it's
talked,
good.
you know, that was
Yeah,
so good. Yeah,
it
because it's
was good.
like,
I know that
mhm,
the Garcelle haters are shaking in their fucking boots. It was,
mhm,
Dorit spoke, Garcelle received it. They started, talking about other
yep.
things. So I really hope this is a path forward for both of them.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm not saying they should be besties, but just like,
No.
they can, if they want to, kiki, they can kiki, like, oh, you want to go get a drink somewhere? Sure, let's go do that. Like,
Yeah.
or at least for the show's sake. So I
Yeah.
feel
And
like, yeah,
you know what I kind of realized in that episode before she went up to Garcelle? They were Dorit and Garcelle were kind of
yeah,
like having a good time. They
yeah.
were laughing and stuff together, and it came naturally. So maybe that's why Dorit was like, okay, this is kind of like natural. We're like gelling right now. So
Yeah.
maybe, well, this is a good time. And I'm
Hmm.
glad it happened. But yeah, I was like, Kyle, but I'm going to tell you this. I can't spend too much more time on that text message. We got to move on.
I think the mid-season trailer is actually coming out on Monday.
Oh, okay, cool. But I hope we don't talk about the text message anymore. I really hope because and even Erica, I don't like that. You need a warrant for that shit. I said, Erica, go away from me with this. Go away from me
Oh,
with this. Shut up. I was happy when she said, I think I need to take a step back from both of you because I
yeah.
was like, you do.
Mm,
I thought at first I was like, she's a good like narrator for those two, but like not everybody is on trial.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Mhm.
Not everybody is on trial. Now, I want to go to another delusional bird, Emmy over in Southern Hospitality. When I tell you, I went from the first couple episodes, I was like, I feel bad for Emmy.
Mhm.
There's clearly something going on
Yeah.
there. She's very, very, very high stress, high nerves. What that is, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
something just a little bit off.
Yeah. Um, People have been in my DM saying things. I don't know any of those things to be true. Okay. So, but I was after this episode, I said, no, baby, we're done. I don't want nobody else to talk to her about that boy. I don't want nobody else say anything to her about him because the
Exactly.
way when Michael sat her down, her whole body language, I knew as soon as he started talking, I said, she knows what he's talking about.
Yes. Yeah. It's
And
just like
she is
she. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, she knows what he's talking about. She put them sunglasses on. She was like, and I was just like, okay. I was like, Michaels, you sweet baby,
Mhm.
be done.
It's like she started tweaking a little bit.
Yeah, be done. And even
Mhm.
at the table, he told her, don't. I was like, Michaels knows what's up because Michaels literally told her, he was like, do not
Mhm.
get riled up right now. I said, so this
Mhm.
has been happening. Now,
Yeah.
even more so than the dresses, more so,
Yeah.
these outbursts have been happening
Yeah.
and Michaels has had enough.
Sick of it.
He's
Sick of it.
yeah, okay. Yeah. He said, oh, I cannot keep defending this white girl.
At all.
I
Just
cannot keep defending this white girl because it's too much.
hmm
Acting
way too
like a
much.
fool in Lake's house. I didn't like the way she handled that chair.
Mm-mm.
I didn't like the way she was stomping through that house. None of it. Okay. I just, it's, it made sense to me that she knew that what he had been saying, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
rewriting history. He was really stressed and da da da. And actually, it's y'all's fault that you sat on this for so long.
I'm like, girl, slow down.
Oh,
What?
so we made Will talk shit about you. We made Will talk shit about you.
It's like
Okay.
I have so much to say, but I have so little to even like
Yeah.
care to say. I'm like,
Yeah. And I think what that already drew me off her, like even him on the FaceTime call saying like those guys should have come and talked to me. They did. They talked to you as much
like
as guys were going to talk to you. Honestly, as
exactly.
much as anybody. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not spending too much time. I might ask you like, hey, why did you like, that's not right, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, I did it. Yeah. Okay. And all of the one thing about it, the edits are not on Will and Emmy's side, but she keeps
Mm-hmm.
doing interviews. Just keeps spinning the story, spinning the story. Okay, girl, you got it. You got it.
You're just like me. You're sick of it. You're like,
I am.
I'm, I'm-
I am. And I thought it was very, very, very nasty. I said this on TikTok, what she said about TJ, saying like
yes.
TJ's 33 and single. Okay.
Like,
First and for fucking most, bitch.
mm,
33 and single. There's nothing wrong with being 33 and single. You're not
correct.
settling. You're not having to deal with your boyfriend running around town talking shit when he's
Hmm.
drunk because he can't handle law school. Okay.
Like,
But secondly,
mm,
TJ is gay and in the South.
it's not gonna be easy for him to.
No, it's not. It doesn't actually matter where you are. He's gay. His
Yeah.
story is different. His testimony is different. But especially
Hmm.
y'all are in the South. Y'all are in Charleston. As much as
Exactly.
like they put these shows up of like, how and Charleston is beautiful.
Yeah.
Charleston also has a lot of racist history.
Oh, a shit ton.
Ton.
Yeah.
Like, so don't start talking about why TJ can't get a man or keep a man or anything like that, because he's already told us, and you should know, Emmy, because you're his friend, that he has dealt with a lot of guys that are in the closet. And
Hmm.
it feels like to me, like, because even Maddie said something ignorant in my mind earlier in the season, which is like, I didn't hook up with Joe at first because I did hear that he had, hooked up with TJ.
Yeah.
And she was like, but like Joe likes pussy. I said,
I was like, oh,
you can't be that stupid. You
like,
cannot possibly be that stupid. And Joe might, Joe very well
mm,
could. Their bisexuality exists.
it's not. It's not like it's a foreign concept.
No.
It.
And even if it's not bisexual, do you know how many men still have relationships with women, have children with women,
Yes.
have made women and are come out later in life?
Exactly.
It's a
So
thing.
many.
Like
Like.
to think that like because he has had sex with you and he likes having sex with you,
Mhm.
there's no way he could have ever been with a guy in the past or anything like that. Like, you are, girl, please be serious.
Exactly. Like, and it can happen to anyone. Like, look at Kyle Richards.
Yeah.
Like, it literally can happen to anyone. It's not like it's, some people just, they really piss me off with that.
No, me no, so same. I was like, girl, you sound dumb, and the internalized homophobia. The Charleston is showing within y'all.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
the
Big
Charleston
time.
is really fucking showing. And especially with what we know happened to me. Like I said, I've said on this podcast before, and if everybody who follows me, I am bisexual. I'm in a relationship with a woman. And I have a lot of gay friends, like male
Mm.
gay friends, and I have ever since I was young. And I know for a fact, I know so many men that have hooked up with my guy friends, but have wives now,
Yep.
or are like, oh no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Like, what? So when TJ, it's messy where I stand on I think TJ's messy. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, 100%.
Right? He's definitely messy. There was no need for him to tell us about Luann or any of that.
That was, yeah, that was not
No.
necessary.
But at the
But yeah,
same
100%.
time, Joe Bradley's response to TJ,
Mhm.
and not only that, notice how Joe asks about TJ, how he inquires about TJ. When he came down to that pool
Mhm.
and TJ was talking to Maddie, and he was like, what were you and TJ talking about? I said,
Oh, yeah.
and so
Hmm.
when I saw the clip of, he was like, I got drunk one night and I'm like a very cuddly sleeper. And I said, boy, shut the fuck up. I said, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Don't start. Don't
Like,
play with me right now.
come
You
on.
cuddled TJ?
Just cuddle
You
TJ?
cuddled TJ because you were drunk. Do you know
You.
how many of my girlfriends and many of my boyfriends I have slept, guys that are friends, have slept
Mhm.
in the bed with and have
Mhm.
never cuddled?
Like, exactly.
Like,
He's.
because you were drunk. And I beg this question. Why did you get in the bed with him? Does he
It,
not have a couch?
it's like, I know what you are.
Yeah, okay. I said, babe, please don't start with me. Please don't play with me. Okay. Do not play with me. Enough.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and end this episode on Salt Lake City because
Oh.
I have been getting dragged. Actually, I don't really want to say I haven't said, I knew what I was doing when I put my video up with such conviction. And I said what I meant and I meant what I said. Okay. I do think that the Lisa Barlow stands are ruining this because the failure to say, you know, Lisa, you were wrong. Like
Hmm.
Lisa was wrong. This is not a good look for her.
Hmm.
Anything like that. Right?
Yeah.
I don't care if Bronwyn bought that necklace. Lisa created an entire new storyline at the reunion when she talked about that necklace. People
Yeah.
claiming that Bronwyn is so dangerous because she lied about this necklace. What else
Like,
will she lie about? People have to relax. We have to relax. It's simply not that deep. Housewives lie.
exactly.
Not first of all, I thought Todd was buying the necklace. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I know a $4 million necklace came to the house, whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
I wasn't paying that much attention because the housewives do this all the time. Remember in Beverly Hills when they had the Birkin party and
Yes.
Garcelle and Erica, I think were like, are you going to get one? Are you going to get one? Like
Yep.
they have these things with these vendors and stuff show up
Yeah.
for camera time,
Yes. Literally.
right? That's what happens on these shows. So now that it is this huge thing of like Bronwyn lied about a necklace, purchasing a necklace.
I think people are just. I feel like what has happened throughout the seasons, like Bronwyn came on, and her relationship with Lisa is so interesting that you have all
Mhm,
these Lisa Barlow stands and all the people that weren't really sure about Bronwyn. They're just trying to
mhm,
like find something and be like, oh my gosh, see,
mhm,
look, she lied. Like with the whole necklace thing. Now I knew that she didn't have the necklace
mhm.
because Lisa told me that in Miami. She was actually going in on Bronwyn, like to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
like she was, yes, like to me. Like she was saying, like,
at Fan Fest.
yeah, this was at one
Babe, I
of.
hope you know we're keeping this in the episode.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
no, that's fine. No, she was talking about it, so I knew that that had happened. And then whenever she's talking about the no, it's not Lisa, but when Brahman was talking about on Watch What Happens Live, that like she didn't have the necklace, but she had the earrings, something like that.
Mhm.
I don't like. I'm
Yeah,
still super confused with it, but I knew she didn't keep that necklace because Lisa told me that, and I was
I
like,
I don't care about the necklace. I don't care if she kept the necklace or the earrings or anything. And then Lisa tweeted something and was like, "She's a liar, not much better than Jen." Jen, who's in federal prison? She's not. Do you don't for over not buying a necklace or looking having a necklace on camera that you didn't purchase? Like, it's okay.
yeah,
You know what I
like
mean? And now people are like, well, Lisa didn't say that Bronwyn had a miscarriage. She said that the people thought she had a miscarriage. The miscarriage was never on camera.
it wasn't like.
The miscarriage that if those people thought that, we did not know that.
Hmm.
We did not, or if that's the story that those people were telling,
Hmm.
Lisa, we did not know that, and that's like Bronwyn did not know that.
Exactly.
Right? So that bringing it on camera
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
standing up for these people who they weren't nice to Bronwyn, right?
Yeah.
What breaks my heart for Bronwyn is that she has to keep retelling this story of how these people treated
Yeah.
her as a teen who was in a teen pregnancy. In that they all talk about the Mormon community except for
Hmm.
Lisa, and they're very honest about how judgmental and how not
Hmm.
accepting it is when they do certain things, right? It broke my heart on Bronwyn's story to see, and it breaks my heart for Gwen too,
Yeah.
that we have to keep bringing this up. And then the Lisa fans that are like, well, why did Bronwyn talk about it on camera? It's her story to tell.
Right.
It
Plus,
is her story
also,
to tell. Like,
yeah. Plus, also, Bronwyn said that they were in the airport with the producers
yeah,
when Lisa and whenever they were talking about it. So, like,
yeah,
it's not like she just couldn't say anything because they heard it. So they're gonna like ask you
yeah.
them. So yeah. But back to your point of what you were saying about the Lisa Barlow stands like ruining the franchise. I totally understand what you mean because I am honestly kind of sick of people absolutely just like standing one person and
Yeah.
then just like going for it. And that's across all franchises. This isn't
Yes.
just
Oh, 100. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
I'm the same way. I can't do the stance.
Mhm.
Like I loved Nene from the first time I
Yeah, yeah.
ever saw that woman. And
Mhm.
honestly, one of the most disappointed times I was
Mhm.
ever like
Mhm.
I was so let down was when Nene told that lady when she was doing that stand up and she got heckled and she
Yeah.
told that lady, it's just so gross, trigger warning, but she told the
Mhm.
woman, I hope like your Uber driver SAC.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was disgusted. I
Uh,
was like, that is so disgusting. I can't believe she said that. You know what I mean? And it's like, that is not okay in
mhm.
any way, shape, or form. And I like Nene, but there's no way I can like stand by that behavior. And
Absolutely
that's
not.
okay. Sometimes, like I
Mhm.
always say, sometimes your faves are going to be right and sometimes your faves are going to be wrong. And the thing that my thing, I don't think that Lisa Barlow needs to be fired. I don't think
Oh
that
no.
she
Oh yeah.
shouldn't be off.
Correct.
She shouldn't be on the show. My issue with her is it's hard to move forward with her. One, it's hard to
Mhm.
move forward with her unless you
Mhm.
absolutely come kiss her ass,
Mhm.
right? And she acts like she does not do anything. Secondly, I'll be honest, my issue with you with her is what you just said of
Mhm.
like I knew Bronwyn didn't have the necklace because she told me. I feel like Lisa tells influencers like Bravo
Mhm.
fan accounts, things like that. She uses them to like spread her like misinformation in hopes that
Mhm.
they have these big responses, right?
Yes.
In hopes that they take that online and they're like, oh,
Mhm.
Lisa, you know, I know that she, because like I started following this guy and I do really like him. I like his content, but he said, he was doing his recap of the finale in or the first part of the reunion, and he was like, Lisa came in my DMs and actually sent me a paragraph and messaged me and told me that Bronwyn had that lady out and blah 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 blah, and we were talking, and I was like, baby, you don't even realize that she just used you to do this right here.
Mhm.
She just used you to do this right here.
Yeah. And you want to know something that's funny? So we do text, right?
Yeah.
But she was like, "You're funny because you'll shade me in your episode recaps." And she said sometimes like, "Oh my god, like they're funny," but also I'm like, "Oh." like is that what it's like? But like she also I'm like I know she's watching, like
Yeah.
definitely she's always
Yeah.
watching. So like I've seen so many because she's been in so many people's DMs recently too, just like
Yes.
talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, Lisa, stop. Like for real. I'm like, Lisa, you cannot keep doing this because it's gonna turn into New Jersey. It's gonna turn into
I
New Jersey.
I did see a tweet where someone, or was it a TikTok? It was something, but somebody had said that like Lisa is like, I can't remember the entire term, but she's basically kind of being like Teresa Judas in
I think
that.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember if
I
it was
think
a
I saw
TikTok
that
or
too.
tweet. Yeah, but it was something along the lines of that, and I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay,
And listen, I don't like the weaponization of the fandoms. I think some of the
yes,
best housewives are ones that are like, well, didn't have a great season this season and all I can do is come back and
hmm
try to be,
hmm
do another one because I think that's similar to how real life is, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly,
Sometimes you're not always the victim, you're not always,
hmm
right with your group of friends and things like that and you have to be sorry and be able to move on and want to
hmm
make a great show. I'm just like when the fans start getting involved too
it's the
involved,
fans,
that's what ruins the franchises.
yeah,
It is widely known that all of those New Jersey housewives, all of them, I'm not saying just Teresa,
hmm
just Marge, but those are the two biggest ones,
hmm
Teresa and Marge,
hmm
will talk to fans in the DMs and like try. And I have other friends who are in this podcast space and content creator space who have like literally said like I have like this housewife's phone number and they've texted me and been like, oh, well, da da da. And they can tell that that
yeah,
housewife is trying to get a story out there via them. We are
yeah,
not involved. We are
exactly.
not like I am watching this show. Yes, I've had housewives message me saying, nice things, sometimes not nice things. I don't give a
hmm
fuck. Okay. I don't
hmm
know you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It is what it is. And even like housewives, kind of like you said, Tamra is kind of like that with me. I have
Yeah.
literally not said, I've not always been on Tamra's side, but she'll still like my videos and be like, girl, I clocked that. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? I don't talk to Tamra,
Yeah.
like I don't have phone number or anything. But yeah, it's those people who can like kind of just like take it. But when the
Mhm.
fans get too involved, that's when the show starts getting really, really
Yeah.
not good.
Like whenever they were mentioning that one podcaster on Salt Lake City this season, yeah.
Hmm.
Um I'm just like, why are we doing this? Because
Yes.
I will get info from people. Now,
Hmm.
notice
Yeah.
how like I told you about
We all do. We
yeah,
all do.
we all
Yeah.
do. We all do.
Hmm.
Like I, the only reason I mentioned the whole necklace thing right now
Hmm.
is because it already like it
Yeah.
just aired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but I'm not gonna be out here spreading stuff. Like you guys need to just
chill,
your mouth.
chill. Yeah, just chill. Chill. Like, I'm like, why is this a salacious thing? Like, Bronwyn doesn't have that necklace.
Okay,
Okay.
like,
I
and you
don't
have rent
care.
due. Like, wait, like let's.
And one of my friends pointed out, they were like, people don't understand, like, that he was like, does Lisa think that like all celebrities like actually buy the gowns, the jewels and stuff that they have on? Like,
Mhm.
people rent
They
things,
rent,
rent
yeah,
like the jewelry, and it's actually like a good sign if a designer is
hmm,
willing to lend you jewels because
yeah,
they trust that you're, it's going to be seen,
yeah,
they're going to get it back. And I think Christian Siriano was like,
yeah,
said like Bronwyn actually purchases,
yeah,
the stuff that she gets from me and
hmm,
things like that. So, it's one of those things where I'm like, this necklace thing is not a big deal, but the necklace is separate from the Gwen's grandparents shit.
yes,
The grandparents stuff should have never, Lisa should have never ever really involved herself. She could have literally been like, I know those people. I'm very sorry for what you went through, Bronwyn, and
hmm,
left it at that. Leave it at
hmm.
that.
Yeah, because it is like it's Bronwyn and Gwen's
Mm-hmm.
family. Like
Yeah.
it's there. I just
Yeah,
think
a
that's like
hundred.
that's a very touchy.
It is. And
It's
even everybody, I forgot about this when Lisa found John, her husband's biological mother, and
yeah,
he
yeah.
said on camera, like, I don't want to open that wound, blah, 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 blah. And she still went forward with it. Do you think if any of those women went digging or said, oh, this is
Hmm.
an unfortunate situation for, and to insinuated anything that was not necessarily John's feelings, she would not like that, rightfully so.
Yeah,
Right. Same thing
yeah,
with Whitney's dad. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's lines that are crossed that it's like, yes, this person brought this on camera because they want to talk about their story, not for their castmate to fucking dig into it and be like, well,
yeah.
actually, I know this person and I think that this is what they say and da da da. No, it's just like,
Like
Lisa,
it's
you got
not.
to stop. Heather, you
Hmm,
got to stop. All of them.
hmm,
I'm like, and I think Bronwyn, she was a fine first season housewife. I'm
yeah.
interested to see what she will do next season.
Hmm.
Um, I do think she came on the show to get a divorce. Okay, I do believe that. She's
Oh
playing.
my
I hate to sound like Angie. I do think she's playing a long game.
God. Someone made a picture, like a meme of Todd like halfway in the
I
grave,
saw
and
that. I saw that. I said,
I was
y'all
like,
are
y'all are
wrong.
quick. And I was like, I think an hour after the reunion had aired, I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, y'all are quick.
I said, y'all are so, 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 so wrong. And I mean, and to be honest, for the most part, the first part of the reunion was kind of boring. I was like,
Yeah, it
I
was.
don't fucking care. Like, and I just
Hmm.
knew that those big reactions. And I also was like, enough. We have New York to focus on this week.
Yeah. And then this upcoming week, Karen Huger gets sentenced.
Wait, okay, I have
It,
to ask something because I don't know if this was a dream, if it came out and they said that it wasn't true. Did she say she's leaving Real Housewives of Potomac?
no, that was a fake thing
It
that
was a
I
fake.
yeah, like
Okay.
I saw it on Twitter. It said Karen Huger like leaves Potomac, and it was like a
Hmm.
pink message, right?
Yeah.
And I was on there and I'm like, wait, something, it doesn't make sense because it said the Grand Dame like a few times in there, but the
Hmm.
last one, it wasn't capitalized. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So then I went to her Instagram and all her people's Instagram, nothing was posted. I'm like, this is fake. And everybody's in the comment section like, see, told you she's going to. Y'all are birds. Like, you guys see something and you guys just
Literally,
immediately.
whenever I see something on Twitter, I immediately fact check. I
Yes,
fact check
exactly.
first because if you cannot get any type of news from Twitter, not
Hmm.
Real Housewives news,
None.
not new political news, you cannot.
Nothing.
I cannot stress that enough, people. If you
Hmm.
see it on Twitter, you gotta fact check. Okay.
Exactly. And it's like, people just piss me off on that. But also, apparently, supposedly, this upcoming week, we don't know, but maybe the trailer for Atlanta is coming.
I thought it was supposed to come last week. I thought
Uh,
somebody told me it was last week. I can't deal with these like these emotions
I
are
know,
high.
I know. I'm like, when is it coming? But I think it's gonna come this week because like there was this one tweet that was saying like when the past few trailers have been announced, they've always been like at the very end of the month on a Wednesday or
Mm.
Thursday, like
Yeah.
on the 26th, 29th, or 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 29th is a Wednesday and the 30th is Thursday. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so maybe this month because supposedly it's supposed to be airing in March,
Oh, okay. What a good birthday gift for me. Love that.
right?
Um,
Wait, what's your birthday?
March 30th.
Okay, I'm March 7th. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're
yeah.
Pisces.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yep.
I'm an Aries, but yeah,
Yeah.
I love Pisces. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean I hope so. I'm very interested. Where do you feel about Atlanta? Because like what do you think?
I think it's gonna be very, very interesting
Hmm.
because I mean, I can only take what like I've heard,
Hmm.
but people are saying that like they've seen the first several episodes and
Mm.
they are very good. Like very good. And I'm like, okay, well, better be worth this wait. It's
Please
like,
don't play with
well,
my emotions. Please don't.
right.
I love Atlanta.
Hmm.
That was my gateway into Housewives.
Hmm.
Please, y'all, please don't play with my emotions. I'm interested to
Hmm.
see Portia back. My friend Chai, I get
Hmm.
Portia was in Nigeria or Ghana. One of them.
Ooh, I don't, yeah, but with
But
Phaedra.
yeah, somebody goes, or my friend Chai goes, Portia, please go home. Please go home. So please go home. Do not be up in Africa trying to find another husband because oh
Oh
my
Lord.
God.
I just the whole I'm still so confused on the whole like the Fallon and Simon and Portia stuff. I'm like, I need the timeline, the accurate timeline of that. Like that's so crazy to
I
me.
will never fully forgive Portia for pulling that
Yeah.
on us, be honest, but I'm ready to see,
I
and
am
I
too.
want Portia to learn her lesson because like you obviously ran to where the money reside, where you thought the money was residing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then I get it. I would be like, oh no, baby, I'm not you getting sued and you getting all this. I'm not attaching my name to that either.
Hmm.
But like we must take our time before trusting and trying to find somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a really good season. Like
I'm
I
praying.
but also it's like because I don't think they're cutting Kenya out of it. I think like she's
No,
gonna be
I didn't think they
okay.
were.
Okay, good. So then it's gonna be Kenya in the beginning, then she's
Hmm.
gone, but Portia and Cynthia are constants, and then Phaedra comes at the very end.
And
So
then
I'm
the new
like,
girls.
the new girls, yeah. So I'm like, this is gonna be
Yeah.
very interesting.
From what I understood, Kenya is in it and
Hmm.
but then obviously after everything's happened, she's not in it anymore. But
Hmm.
yeah, I never thought that they were going to cut her out or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, but like, you need to drop this trailer like now.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up on that. No, Oliver, please tell the people, plug all your socials or anything else that you want to plug where they can find you.
Yes, so you guys can definitely find me at my username. It's just Oliver Sims the fourth IV. There's no like actual spelling of the fourth, just Oliver Sims IV. And that's on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I am also on, like Red Note, Lemonade, all those others. I just haven't done anything over there. But
Oh,
I am
but
still thinking about starting a podcast, but we'll see
you
where
need
that
to.
goes. Yeah, I know. I really should because I really want to start making a little bit more money off of social
Yes.
media. So we'll
No,
see.
100%.
Yeah,
I before we started recording, I told you I was like you need to start it. It'll be a
yeah,
hit.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and then y'all already know where you can find me over on TikTok for now, Who Asked Zell. You can follow my personal Instagram, which is Who Asked Zell as well. My podcast page is Who Asked Me Podcast. And then my YouTube is Zell Brooks, where you can see the visuals of this podcast episode with Oliver, or you can, just listen on the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those things. But we will talk to y'all later.